This is the video for routine 101 of the color codes game. First, it sets X to 5, Y to 45, tall to 16, wide to 1000, makes the color a gray color and does a rectangle fill. And then it sets tall and wide to 51,000 again, and X to 5, Y to 61, a color to a yellow color, and does another rectangle fill. Now I'm going to go to the program and tell you where this is. First, it did this gray box that goes totally across the screen. Then below there's a yellow box. It's almost invisible since the background is also a yellow color. But there's a yellow box here that encompasses all the options for each one of the 8 parameters. Go back to the program. Soon as it makes that yellow box, it says that box is clickable. Click number 4. And the very next instruction asks if click 4 was clicked. If it wasn't, it goes down here to BI. If it was clicked, it resets the parameters because it wants to do a mat instruction where it says 8 parameters, which is the 8 columns, and there's 3 rows. That's the 3 options you can pick. So this value of I is going to go from 0. Well, actually here, I'm sorry, the value K that it's asking for is going to go from 0 to 23. Then it sets I equal to that number, but then it mods it with 8. That means I is going to be from 0 to 7. That's going to tell him which one of the parameters is being set. And the next line divides the K by 8. That's going to tell it which one of the 3 rows was clicked. That's which option number. And here it sets parameter, the ith one, to that value of K. Now I've highlighted another section of this routine. Sets X to 5, tall to 16, wide to 93, and for I of 0 to 7, that's 8 times it's going to go around. It's going to go around for each one of the parameters. It's going to set Y to the test index it's given, multiply it by 15, so it's going to drop it down 15 depending on what the index number is for that parameter. Then it adds 61 to get down to the beginning of the box, makes the color gray, and does a rectangle fill, and then it adds 127 to X and goes around again. Well, to understand this, we got to look at the program. It's putting these gray boxes in here. Let me move some of them around. It's putting these gray boxes. By the parameter, it's the index, it's dropping it down for each one of the parameters and putting the gray box where it's been clicked. You see, I can put it wherever I want. Back to the program. Right, so that's what this section is doing. Now I've highlighted another section of this routine. It sets X to 10, Y to 57, color 0, black, sets the font to bold 10 point, and then for I of 0, and then down here it says for I to 500, 16 at a time. Well, we're going to continue to go through this, and then I'll explain what that means. So it's going to put this text, which is at page A, starting at offset 128. I is going to change by 16 each time. But when it gets over, 950, it's going to set it back like a typewriter. It means set back to the far side again and starting over again. And then it's dropping Y down. Well, let me show you why. We'll go to the program. It's putting all these names under here. First it said none, no red, no green, no blue, none, no, and then when it got here to the end, it went down to the next one and went across there, and it dropped down to the next one and went across there. That's what it's doing. Now back to the program. It's getting the text here from page A starting at offset 128 and then changing by 16. So let's go to page text. Let's go to page A. Here at offset 128 is where it's getting the text from. Dual type, dual red, dual green, and going across. And you can see all of the options. They're lined up here just the way it put them on the screen. That's where the text came from. Now I'm going to go over the last section of this routine. It's going to build a value for the test code. It sets it to 0, sets k to 0, and then it starts a loop for I of 0 to I7 one at a time. It's going to go around 8 times, once for each of the parameters. And each time it goes around, it's going to set j equal to which one of the options they pick, 0, 1, or 2. And then it adds k to that option because that's the parameter offset. And then it says, I'm going to add that value j to the test code. Then I'm going to up the value of k by 3 to go to the next 3 options. This is how it's building the test code. Previously, we built the answer code. Alright, this is the end of the routine for color codes.